Good morning, everybody. Uh, this is early in the morning. It's about 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. my time. And I'm making this video to talk about uh, what I call is the triple gems. Triple gems here represents the the wisdom, uh, the arts, and the science. Okay, it is in parallel with Einstein's statement about the religions, arts, and science are same branches, are the branches of the same tree. So here, a very similar idea of the triple gems or the triple diamonds. Um, in everyday living, if we have uh, the practice of the triple gems, that is, have the wisdom, the arts, and the science to come into our lives and guide us throughout all our actions. And the living process can be greatly enhanced with optimal outcomes. That's why Christ said, get wisdom at any price. And similar thoughts in Buddhism, Taoism, and many other religions. Wisdom always being placed at the highest level of existence. And then we can talk about the arts, the music, um, the nature, the arts of nature, of the universe, the beauty that we see in front of our eyes every day, but oftentimes we don't see the glories in their beauty because our mind is too busy with so many conflicts and sufferings, with ignorance, hatred. So we need to stay awake to see the interrelationship in all these three gems. And then science. If we can see the interconnection between science, arts, and religion, there'll be excellence. Because they should. When we see the truth, then religion, art, and science, they just give us a better view, a different angle. And they correlate to one another. So religion must be proved by science and vice versa, with arts associated with them. That's why in advanced physics, quantum physics, scientists, they do use the Eastern wisdom to shine some light on their research in science, and oftentimes we don't have enough knowledge to penetrate the deep characteristics of the unknown universe. For all we know at this point in time, it's only 0.01001%. That's our knowledge of the known, while the unknown is 99.9999%. And yet, today's science, we know that it is the unknown 99.999% which drive the universe. Dark matters, dark information, dark energy, together with quantum mechanics and general relativity, all these things, pretty complicated, pretty sophisticated to understand. And yet at the same time they reflect the wholeness of life. The reason that we live in daily life with much conflict, because we rely on the 0.001% to make decisions on the evolutionary dynamics of the 99.999% of matters all around us and in the universe. Einstein made one statement that is very much related to meditation, and yet not many of us realize how much meditative thought process ran through Einstein's mind. But many of his statements did reflect some sense of meditation deep in his own existence. For example, he said once, there are moments when one feels free from one's own identification with human limitations and inadequacies. At such moments, one imagines that one stands on some spot of a small planet, gazing in amazement at the cold yet profoundly moving beauty of the eternal, the unfathomable. Life and death flow into one, and there's neither revolution nor destiny, only being. So in this is my most favorite statement from Einstein, because in this short phrase, it enveloped the whole thesis of Eastern wisdom. For example, when he said there are moments when one feels free from one's own identification with human limitations and inadequacies, that is, free from one's being, from one's thoughts, from the self. So one becomes selfless. So thought had already subsided in this process of being. And that's the profound, that's the foundation, profound foundation of meditation, selflessness. And then at such moments, one imagines that one stands on some spot of a small planet, gazing in amazement at the cold yet profoundly moving beauty of the eternal, the unfathomable. So here we talk about, he was talking about the beauty of the universe, of the unfathomable, which is the 99% unknown, the one that we don't understand, as dark matter, dark energy, dark wisdom. Very meditative. And then lastly, he said, life and death flow into one. There's neither revolution nor destiny, only being. And this is the same, exactly the same teaching in Buddhism. Is that there's no time revolution. There's no time dynamics involved. There's no revolution or destiny. There's no past, there's no future. Only the present, only being. So being a scientist, Einstein did see the deep interconnectedness between science and religion, as you all can see in his statement. The Buddha once said, to understand everything is to forgive everything. That is, normally we try to understand things through our limited knowledge, limited thoughts, and then we have all these things racing in our head, our mind, try to break everything apart into fragments to see what's going on. That's the process of penetration, concentration, that most of us do in science. But when it comes to understand wisdom in the higher plane, higher universe, it may not work such a way, but the mind needs to be quiet. That is, when we forget everything and forgive everything, then the mind is in a state of ultimate peace. And in that peaceful state, it shall see the wholeness of life, all the dynamics in the universe, including oneself. That's why Eastern religions or wisdom is totally based on the selflessness, based on emptiness. As it was said, form is emptiness, and emptiness is form. But when we reflect on that statement, sometimes it can become very difficult to understand why there such thing exists that we can see, we can touch. Why is it empty? Or vice versa. Well, after all, if we look into the science of the Big Bang, everything started with the Big Bang, and come into presence from nothingness, from a tiny area, a volume of space, almost totally empty. And yet after the Big Bang, the universe was formed, and what we see the universe today, again, that's only a small fraction of the whole existence. Things that we see out there with all the galaxies, all the planetary systems, everything we could see, It's only a fraction, small fraction of the universe, which contains mostly emptiness. Even in our human body, 60–70% is all water, and the water molecules and other molecules in our body, they're mostly empty, except for a few particles, electrons, protons, and quarks, a few things running around in the molecule, but mostly they are empty. So in a way, if we observe the human body, it's 99.99% empty. Well, when I discuss things like this on videos, I never prepare to say anything. I just discuss things, as they come to my mind. Sometimes I look at the other screen of my other laptop, and whatever I see there, and I just expand my thoughts related to the things that we discuss. Okay, anyway, so we were talking about the triple gems, religions, arts, and science, which are the branches of the same tree. So we need science so we can understand things around us, the interconnection, between matters, and also to accommodate our living process, create man-machine systems, advance in medical science, create many things that we need in life to support the living process, which is good, and mostly, at more of a physical levels. But then, if we just spend our thoughts mostly on the physical science, then we're losing the arts and the wisdom on the other end. So life could be pretty boring without seeing the arts, the beauty of life, nature, of the universe, because these are the things that drive our intelligence, our emotions, and give us a deeper insights into the interrelatedness of all things. For example, if you imagine that you live in 24/7, 365, and most of the time there's no music, life would be pretty devastated to live without music, for example. Or go out and see movies, or watching television, or seeing some entertainment, or just sitting still under the sunshine and observe trees, small animals running around, or look at the child face, and see all the beauty of the dynamics of existence. Imagine if we don't digest or see all the beauty around us, then life could be very, very limited. And by seeing the beauty of all things, then that leads us to living with much love and compassion. Because once you enjoy the beauty, the peace in life, uh, one would not want to go out there and commit wrongdoings. Uh, it's difficult to be on the wrong side when you see the beauty in all things. So these things are related to wisdom. See, so we go from science to arts and arts to wisdom. And with wisdom, oftentimes, it can give us the insights back into the world of arts, of science. For example, for scientists to work on some problems, uh, very hard problems, almost unsolvable, but when the mind is quiet, and at some point in time, all of a sudden, it clicks. I mean, he sees the solution in his own mind, very clear. So when the mind is in a state of silence, of peacefulness, it becomes very intelligent. Then all the information, all the ideas, all the dynamics, all the solutions floating around in empty space would come into being and being detected. And there it is, solution. Some of you may be engineers, scientists out there, and I'm sure you go through such process, such discovery sometimes. I myself, I go through it very often. I design very complicated, very sophisticated intelligence systems, AI, artificial intelligence, and solution and things just come to my mind very naturally when my mind is silence. So here you see the interconnection between wisdom of meditation and science. Or the artists, they may draw a beautiful picture or come up with a good composition, a piece of delicate music composition out of thin air, through the peacefulness, through seeing beauty in life. Okay, and that's part of the process of meditation. For example, in the past, in my situation, I compose music out of the meditative mind. I compose Rexsy music directly while I record it. So all the symphonies that you hear on my YouTube channel, they all have been composed and recorded with the orchestra instantly. And there's no post-editing at all. Okay, so just one shot. If you listen to Rexsy's symphony for 10 minutes, then that's how long it took for me to compose and record and create that symphony. That's 10 minutes. So out of emptiness, yeah, that's why I said earlier that the foundation of wisdom is based on form is emptiness and emptiness is form. So where were the symphony before I created it? It didn't exist, so it was emptiness. And then through the meditative mind, it was created instantaneously, uh, in silence. So it becomes form because we can now listen to it. Okay? So emptiness is form. Form is emptiness. Or many intelligent man-machine system, artificial intelligence, machine learning. Before I created them, they didn't exist. They were in the 99.99% emptiness until I perceived the idea from the unknown world and create such intelligent system. Then they come into being into the 0.001%, the known, that have become the known now. So where were they before? Where are they now? So this is the proof scientifically of the statement. Void is form, form is void, or emptiness is form, and form is emptiness. And that's why in the beginning I set out with a very simplistic idea to talk about the triple diamonds or triple gems. That is, religions, arts, and sciences are branches of the same tree. So if you had time and look more into this, penetrate into the wisdom, it could be a great game changer in your life, and you can live with lesser conflict and more of a peaceful state of mind, which is very important because after all, what is the purpose in life? We all live, and the ultimate goal is to enjoy the beauty and the peacefulness at the highest, ultimate level of our existence. Things that wealth, money, power, all those things can never buy. Okay? And this is why many folks, rich folks, the super rich folks out there, people in Hollywood, people in politics, people in business, they possess a lot of wealth, the top 1% of humanity, and yet they suffer greatly without wisdom, or in general, wisdom of the triple gems. Okay, I'm going to stop right here, and we can continue our discussion in next videos. So I wish you enjoy your day. May you be blessed with the brightest love and beauty, and with happiness, and very enjoy having a peaceful mind with the triple gems. Thank you. Goodbye now.